Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, what we got going on in this one is this is the top 5 best wing players or role players, whatever you want to call it. Now as you can see, we're getting into number 1. I'm going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I felt like I was trying to record this and I felt like starting at 5 was so whack. It kind of ruins the whole vid. But anyway, we'll move along. The reason I have a two-way sharp point guard, and I want to emphasize point guard, is that, and the reason I have it number 1 is that A, it's a great defender, obviously. B, great for spacing. C, can actually still run a really good amount of point guard as well. It just depends how tall you make it. Now, another thing too, the reason I say point guard is you get floor general and dimer unlocked. Now that's so key in my opinion, as far as like being a spot up player, or even just the rap guy, whatever you want to call it, because at the end of the day, like if you're out here playing the 2 spot in the 3v3, and that's what this video is about, is the best builds at the 2 spot in the 3v3, but there's no like real good title for that. But anyway, the whole point of this is, I feel like there's no way that like 2 bigs can really exploit in 3v3 anymore, as long as you have a solid team and you like don't miss your open jump shots. I feel like if they come in with 2 bigs, you go 6'5" with this build, boom, you have like 78 ball control, I believe. You are fast too, trust me. Like you have 88 speed. You can truly make things happen. Now, I wasn't sure what to do with the wingspan here. That's all up to your own discretion. If you feel like you're a solid like second ball handler option, definitely go minimum. But if you're gonna be only spotting up with this build, definitely go a little taller, or a little higher on the wingspan, just for the sake of that. But I want to get back to my whole point here. I'm not going to commentate too much over like why I'm going with certain things. I'm going to just get straight to the point of like what I feel like these builds are good for. Now, if you have 2 of these guys, because like I said, it's a very viable ball handler option, but I know not a lot of people are out here making a 2-way sharp to run point guard with. Only my point guard does that. But anyway, I'm right here. I'm going to skip to number 2. Now, I hate how fast this video is moving along because I want to explain so many things, but there's so much stuff on my head. But anyway, like I said, the reason you go point guard with that build is because you need the dimer and the floor general. Floor general boosts your teammates' attributes by 3. Dimer will help as well. And then if you go shooting guard, small forward, anything like that, you lose the ability to get both those badges. And at the end of the day, I feel like going above 6'6" isn't the best move anyway, because A, I feel like you're going to get attacked as far as perimeter defense goes. And then I feel like you really don't need the height all that much. I feel like in 3v3, there's really no good way you can get exploited with your height by like 2 bigs, because like I said, and if they run 2 bigs, you're running pick and roll through you. If they have a 7'2", 7'3" big man on you, you're getting the ball 100%. Like, and you just gotta be decent enough to do that. Now, if I will say, if you have a short build that can't do any ball handling, then you are a liability. That's just kind of what it is. I mean, if you're gonna be someone who strictly spots up and doesn't move anywhere, you're probably gonna want to go with like a taller pure sharp. But then you're probably going to get exposed perimeter defense-wise too, because if you're 6'9", 6'8", oh man, all they got to do is, like, let's say this 2-way sharp. Now, again, it's so hard for me because just understand, number two on the list right here is a playmaking defender. I'll explain in a sec, but I want to keep staying on my point here, where all they're going to do is they're going to send like a pure sharp and just wrap him around, and then boom, you have to switch onto the ball handler. If you don't switch, the pure sharp's going to get wide open because you get stuck on the dudes. So they're going to force a switch, and if you have a bad defender, or you know, just like a tall defender, then you're going to get completely exposed in 2-man pick and roll now, because they're just going to put you in that. Now you got to switch everything. Now they're going to get easy slips. I feel like your 2 should definitely be around 6'4" to 6'7", 6'8"-ish in this game. Now, you see, I went with here, let me pause and catch you guys up to speed. I went with a shooting guard playmaking defender right here. The reason I say that is, this is the closest thing, in my opinion, that you can get to being a pure lockdown while still being able to shoot well. As you can see, it gets 65 3-pointer. You still have like really good ball handling as well, but I would suggest don't go with a 6'7". Like I said, you don't need mass height and to play the 2 spot. And here's the crazy thing is, if you go 6'5", now you get really good ball control. Your 3-pointer goes higher. Your driving dunk is 87. Now that is insane because you get contact dunks at 85. So straight out the box with this build, what you're gonna be is a great defender who guards ball. You're probably just gonna spot up as far as offensively, but you're still a good second ball handler option on the floor with 67 3-pointer, 85 ball handling, and then 87 driving dunk. It's gonna be a very different style of offense than what your point guard probably has. He's probably more of a like a go-to shooter, if you will. But at 6'5" with this build, and you don't need to go point guard with this build because you have playmaking in your build, so you get Hall of Fame dimer and Hall of Fame floor general. The Hall of Fame floor general, your point guard is gonna love you for. It's simple as that. Now the weight you don't need to go minimum on, because in my opinion all you do is lose about like, I think like 2 lateral quickness, something like that, if you just go with this weight right here. And you don't lose any vert, you don't lose any excel. It's real simple. I mean, with this build, you are just out of your mind with speed. And then, like I said, you see if you go 1 tick down from the minimum wingspan, you're ending up with 69 three-pointer, 86 ball control. That 80, or wait, was that? My bad. That's 88 ball control. If you have this amount of ball control, you're gonna be able to momentum. You're gonna be so fast, bro. You get your Gatorade facility drills done. You're gonna have 99 speed, 99 excel. It's gonna be insane. And I mean, you're working with 83 lateral quickness too. It's a beautiful build, bro. It's just like I said, if they put a weak defender on you, you gotta be able to like have the ball in your hands. You can't be a spot up and allow a pure sharp to just guard you. Simple as that in 3v3. You're not gonna be great if you do that. You'll be very decent, but you're not gonna be great, and that's just the fact of it. Now, my number 3 build right here is basically the same exact thing as the point guard version, but at small forward with a 2-way sharp. Now, what this build for, bro, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering on my words so bad. What this build is for is the people who believe that you need to be a little taller at the 2 spot. Like, if you really don't want to like deal with many big man problems when they come in with like a taller guy at the 2. Like, if you don't want to deal with like rebounding and interior defense problems, then I guess this is the build for you. It's gonna be a little harder for you to move around, in my opinion, which kind of restricts you to the corner. But if you're able to run wraps properly, this is still a very viable build. Now, what I will say is, I feel like your lateral quickness might get a little bit exposed. I mean, even I've seen dudes who like, they come in with this lineup where they come in with some like 6'9" defender. Like, they come in with some 6'9" pure lock, right? And then their guard is like 6'4", and they try to stick their guard in the corner because on defense, because they're like, okay, well, we got a pure lock, we can just put him on ball. Well, this 6'9" pure lock is getting toasted by my like little 6'4" point guard because he's just too slow. So what do they have to do? They have to switch everything. Like I said earlier in the video, they got to switch everything, which makes it so it's so easy to just get slips and easy wide open dunks. So all I'm saying is, this build, I put it on the list for you guys who believe in something like this, but I really wouldn't recommend it too much, just at the fact that, like I said, height hurts sometimes at that 2 spot. Now, like I said, you're probably going to want to go like 6'8". I don't think 6'9" is the move. You gain like 4 speed by doing this, and you really don't lose much as far as like interior defense and stuff. So this is up to you as well. If you feel like you need the weight, what you could do with this build is be a tweener between the 2 and the 3. As you guys know, if you've watched my channel at all, I be running the like with a small forward and play the big man spot in 3v3 every single game I've played in this year. Now, I'm a 6'9", I'm a 6'9" small forward. I play the big man spot. I feel like you can get away with being a 6'8" 2-way sharp if that's something that you think is in your cards to be played. In my opinion, it's not that bad of an idea. Plus, your floor space can be out of this world. You get good defensive badges, you get Hall of Fame brick wall. I mean, it could be a very viable big man build too. And that's why this is like a viable build, because it does fit in a decent amount of like areas. Now, at number 4, we have a pure sharp at point guard. Now, again, I go with the point guard because of the dimer and floor general. That's just such a big thing to be had, especially if because like I just said, in my opinion, I don't think you should go tall with these wing builds. So a 6'9", like 6'8" pure sharp, like I was saying earlier, just doesn't make sense to make. It's just a trash build in my opinion, because you get exposed on defense, and then your mobility on offense is just kind of too trash too. So even if you go taller, you're still gonna have the rebounding problems. So you can't run away from that. You're a pure sharp that gets like 68 rebounding. I mean, and you're not very athletic either. Now, if you do go with like a decent amount of speed, now you're actually like a pretty viable wrap build. Again, I feel like 6'6" is a nice thing to be had, just to not be like too short. But 6'5" is always going to be the move with these guard builds. And at the end of the day, I just feel like the reason I haven't made this video very recently, or I've put it off for so long, is because I feel like there's no really good wing build. I hate to tell y'all that, because I know you came to this video expecting otherwise, but there's really no great wing build except for that two-way, like the playmaking defender at the shooting guard, like I showed you. Because really, what this game comes down to, height doesn't matter in my opinion all that much at the 2 spot. Yes, they might have like some slasher or something like that at the 2, but is it gonna end the game? It's not. I don't think it's gonna like completely like destroy you if you have. And at the end of the day, like you could even put like whoever your best defender is on him, and if you are a two-way sharp, you're not gonna get dominated by a slasher. I don't care how tall you are, as long as you're like 6'4" or higher. Whatever slasher is trying to go at you in the 3v3. I know I'm probably like irritating so many people right now because my whole channel is like slashers, but here's the facts. You're not gonna get dominated to the point where you're gonna lose the game by a slasher if you have something with solid defense and all that. But anyway, let me move along. I'm getting too distracted by this. At the number 5 spot, we have a playmaking sharp, as you can see by the little caption right there. The reason I say this is, like, for all the reasons I just said, you don't need too much height. If your point guard already has trash defense, they're already going to do what I was talking about if they're a good team, where they're just going to expose the weaker defender. So you making a defender can be kind of dicey sometimes, because if your point guard isn't a defender, all they're going to do is try to run wraps to target him. So in essence, if you feel like this is like what you think is like a proper lineup, what you could go with is the exact same thing as what your point guard probably is, and that's a playmaking sharp at like 6'5"-ish. You get 87 ball control, 88 three-pointer. Your driving dunk is still around 70. Now the layup, that's up to you. All this stuff is up to you to decide, but you still get 10 defensive badges, so that's a pretty solid outcome for how great of an offensive player you can be. Now I'm paused on here because I want to explain this. Now, if they have one lockdown and one pure sharp or one play sharp, whatever you want to call it, a build like this, if they have one pure lockdown, what are you going to do? If they have the pure lockdown on your point guard, now boom, they just give the ball to you, and now you expose the weak defender. That's why I say the backcourt builds in this year, in my opinion, have to be like plus minus. Like they have to, well, actually no, it needs to be plus plus or minus minus. It has to be 2 trash defenders, and you are just an offensive juggernaut everywhere. Because good teams will expose your one bad defender somehow. If they have some dude in the corner that just can't move out of that corner, that's a bad lineup. I mean, now that playmaking defender, I will say, can be a good point guard option, so he can get the ball and do something with it, but he's never going to be a wrap, like kind of, you know, force a switch type of guy. He could have the ball in his hand and do it, but anyway, that's for another discussion. These were just the top 5 builds, in my opinion, that I could bring to you guys. Now, the one struggle with this build is figuring out what to do with takeover. If you're playing the wing, I would probably recommend to go with spot up shooter, just because you're probably not going to be touching the ball like by choice. You're probably just going to touch the ball by matchup, like I just said, if they have a lockdown on your point guard, so that's when you get the ball. But for the most part, you're probably going to be like spotting up and just be a great shooter. I'm talking like that's a great thing to have too in the corner, is somebody with 87 three-pointer, and just like to be able to knock it down if they help off you. Simple as that. I just feel like I said, backcourt defense, in my opinion, this year needs to be plus plus or minus minus. Having one lockdown and one shooter is never a good idea, because all they're ever going to do is expose your one shooter anyway. So your lockdown is kind of wasted. All the lockdown is good for at that point is to negate their number 1 scoring option. If they come in there with 2 good scoring options, now boom, you're just at a disadvantage. And now, I don't know, you get what I'm saying. But anyway, that's all for the vid. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, all that good stuff. Turn on them notifications if you enjoyed as well. Appreciate all the love too, man. I've been getting so much support lately on these videos, and YouTube been treating me well. That's all I could say. But anyway, like I said, that's all for the vid. Hope y'all enjoyed. Other than that, oh yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, put let me think. Put shot. Let's just put shot. Put shot in the comments if you made it to the end of the video. But anyway, other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Feel free to leave any feedback too, but hey, like I said, take it easy, man. Peace.